anything back, but I would make up what he would say, and he was actually kind of a jerk to me sometimes. He called me a stupid kobold one time, and I didn't like that. I don't think you would call me a stupid kobold, though, because you're a nice doll.
No, I think you're sweet. What's a kobold?
I'm a kobold.
I'm a poetry.
I like,
I'm a poetry.
I've never seen a poetry before, but you seem like you're pretty cool. Hey, Tuli, you should play with my doll with me.
Uh, okay. So I'll sit next to her and I'll pat her arm.
and
But then I start kind of rubbing it, trying to see if, and like low key, like squeezing her to see if she feels any pain. Not pain, but just see if there's a reaction. I'm not squeezing hard. I'm just saying, like, just seeing if she notices that I'm squeezing her arm.
I think if someone's sitting there feeling you up, they're gonna.
It gives way like normal skin. It's just that it's like cold, and she just kind of like at first she like laughs and kind of ignores it, and then she just kind of looks at you like,
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, stop it.
I had to see what it felt like.
You can just ask.
And Ugna looks at you and he goes, Tuli, I don't know if you had like you were ever a kid, but you suck at playing with dolls.
Yeah, one day, Ugna, I'll tell you about my upbringing.
Okay. And he's like, hey, poetry, can I use you as a pillow? You look like you'd be comfortable to sleep on.
Sure.
And he like climbs up into your lap, and he like curls in a little ball, and he falls asleep with his butt sticking in the air.
God.
As he's asleep, I'm gonna like take my hair ribbon and put it like on his head in a bow.
Okay. He just sleeps right through it. And his puppy, Sasha, walks up next to you and like licks your face, and then walks in a little circle and cuddles up next to you.
Poet like Loki looks like she's gonna cry. She's like, I've never had this many friends.
Did we just adopt her? What's happening?
Well, she took my weird investigation really well, so I'm a little at ease.
I know it doesn't mean a lot, but I really don't mean you any harm, and I don't think I'm cursed. She kind of looks at her hands like, I don't know.
Exactly what a cursed evil doll would say.
This
Well, this
Okay, I'm
party
gonna
can't
put
get
away
any
my
bigger,
knife now.
so
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think I'm cursed. I don't think I'm a cursed evil doll. Hi, I'm Chucky.
Would you like to play?
do you?
Yeah, I put away my knives and I wrap my sling around my head again.
Okay. And so just because it's getting late and we got a lot of stuff to still take care of, I'm gonna say I want you guys after this session to get to know poetry in the camp chat.
Yep.
We're gonna retcon a little
Sad
bit.
face.
No, because we're gonna do it with you two. But we need to move it along. But I loved this freaking intro. It was fucking amazing.
Yes, campfire chat. I agree.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I've never seen anything like that before.
I'm so happy that we have you in the group, poetry. Like seriously, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
yeah, poetry. You kind of made me feel like a basic bitch for what I got coming up.
Okay, so you guys chat well into the night and get to know poetry, and you seem she makes you feel at ease. Like there's something about her that just like
Did you just move me closer? You seem to feel at ease. Orsic moves closer.
I was gonna just move you guys like as if you guys are around a campfire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys hang out around the campfire.
Okay, love you.
You talk to poetry, and she's charming, and you guys like her. Well, I don't know. You guys can make that decision on your own. I'm not gonna railroad you. But you guys end up falling asleep as the night goes late, and you let poetry know, and you're like, hey, we just had this long battle inside the dungeon, and you guys fill her all in on that kind of stuff. and you guys are very exhausted and you end up falling asleep. And you wake up the next morning bright and early. Birds are chirping, and Ugna's still sleeping in Poetry's lap with his butt sticking up in the air. And you wake up and you guys start on your journey.
I
Back.
will do a quick hunt with my tiger, just well fed.
Absolutely. So that night, as they're still talking, you kind of slink off with your tiger to go get some food, and you cook and you eat together, and it's a fun night. You guys really enjoy it, or don't, depending on the type of personality you have. And you eat well, you're well fed, you're well rested, you feel great, you have all your hit points back, and
Does Poetry need to eat if she's a soul bound to a shell?
It's complicated, but yes, I do need to eat.
I'm just not going to think about that for now.
all right. So you guys start heading off, and you guys, let me get you guys back to Bestow. Get this guy off the screen.
Bestow.
You guys,
Hello, Bestow.
you guys,
We are back.
you guys get to about here, and you guys decide to leave the forest, and you start walking through the plains. And it's really pretty. Like, you like this area. It's once the sun comes up, it's still cool, but not hot by any, or not cold by any means. And you start to feel refreshed, and like you guys talk about your journey and what happened inside the dungeon, and you tell each other your battle stories, and you brag a little bit to each other. And after about, most of the day goes by, it's starting to become evening. You see the city of Bestow in the distance, and you start walking up to the gates. And about as the sun falls behind the Rolfovic Mountains, you walk through the gates of Bestow. And
Bestow.
what do you guys do?
I will look
Surprise,
for
small
the same gentleman that held on to my cat,
Okay.
and I'll bring him some of the leftover meat I have, and ask him if he's willing to watch our mounts for us.
Well,
Don't we owe him money
you
for the
guys
horses?
are. If you go talk to Gray, this is a scene. So we need to.
We don't have mounts.
We need to have.
Oh
this-
yes,
have
That's the
this scene.
point.
that's right.
We should probably figure out how much we owe him.
We should get the last.
We do know it was only a couple hundred. We got that covered.
Okay.
Well, because the horses died, didn't they?
Yeah, and that was the rental fee.
That's what I'm saying.
They
That
were slaughtered.
that was
Yeah, so we need to pay for the missing horses, possibly.
that was the deposit. So if you guys want to do this Gray stable scene now?
Oh, I'm good at lying if you guys need any help.
Yeah.
But
And that's not concerning at all.
I'm also really good at scaring people, as you know.
I might as well get it over with if we already have to have this confrontation with
Yeah.
Gray.
We're gonna have to do it either way. I
don't- what was
cannot
he like
bring my
again?
tiger into town.
That is true. He can't bring his tiger into town. He has been.
I cannot. So whether you guys
explicitly-
come with me or not, I have to bring him somewhere that he can be
I
watched.
mean, if you want to, you can take the tiger to the stables, and
Yeah, I will.
and lie to Gray.
I'm not gonna lie to him. I'll be honest with him.
I'll go with you.
yeah, me too.
Okay, so you guys approach Gray's stable. You see Gray out front. He's pitching hay into their feed troughs, and like there's
Can
some
I do a
activity going
quick
on.
survival just to make sure we knew what killed the horses?
You guys figured it out. So I forget who rolled a pretty high check, but you guys know that bugbear killed those
Okay.
horses.
Okay.
Yeah, he slit their throats and took one of them and took off.
Stole off into the night.
Yeah. So you guys walk up to Gray's stable, and he turns around and he sees you guys coming, and his face like lights up, like excited to see you, and then he notices you're walking, and his face turns into a scowl, and he's like, "Oh, so you guys are back. Where are my horses?"
So I'll approach him and be like, good sir, I have semi good news and some dire news as well.
Yeah. Where are my horses?
We ended up going on an adventure that brought us deep into an underground area where we fought things that we probably shouldn't have. But during our time under the ground, it turns out that above ground, our
He's-
animals were raided, and my tiger barely escaped with its life.
He's just
I would
staring at
hope
you, blank faced, as you're telling the story.
I'm sure my tiger fought for its life, and sadly, it wasn't strong enough to defend the pack. So the horses had fell, and my tiger was barely alive when I arrived.
So as you stop speaking, he just nods once, and he turns around, and he walks into the barn.
How much do we owe you?
We could compensate you
roughly
for
know.
your
He
losses.
he ignores you as you talk. He walks into the barn, and he's in there for a couple minutes. Do you guys wait, or you walk away?
I'm gonna wait.
Or wait.
Yeah. Why would you walk away? That's so mean.
You might want to check and make sure you didn't like hang.
Jesus.
He's probably traumatized.
About 3 or 4 minutes pass, and you see him start walking out of the stables, and he has a book in his hand, and he's flipping through the pages, and he walks up to you and he says, "Okay, so one mare, that'll be 400 gold pieces.
Oh God.
One stallion, that will be 560 gold pieces. One pony, that will be 200 gold pieces.
Horses.
And one gelding, that will be 300 gold pieces. Altogether, and he starts counting on in the air, and he's 6. Because you guys were on an adventure for the Paladins Guild, that will be 3,000 gold pieces.
God.
Do we have that much?
Beautiful.
I have
It
100.
depends on the rating.
I can
So
help
I
better.
will.
I'm gonna add up all the
Guys-
gold that we found.
Yeah, you guys can put in the gold and stuff that you have. I have 110 gold. I'll also put 3 platinum gold on, 3 platinum out,
Okay.
and
guys-
be like, I'm sorry, we may. It depends on what everybody has, but I'll say we may not be
Was someone
close to
keeping
what we owe you.
Track of all of it?
We have tons of
But-
gemstones.
We have tons of gems, but we have stuff we have yet to sell. So we will go and about our biz, and then we will come back and pay you what we can, and we promise to repay you for what we owe you.
That's excellent. While you guys are gone, I will have a word with the constable. I hope to see you back soon. And he walks away.
Aw.
They're about to, make wanted posters for us just in case
I
we don't
know.
pay.
Oh God,
Well,
I'm associated.
What about the service that
No.
we just provided?
And by the way,
Yeah,
just a quick.
that will come, but we have to talk to the person of the town and also to the paladin that we helped before we can try to discuss with him of what we've done.
And just a quick note.
Coming from a background of nobility, I know it's better to talk to the higher ups than
just so you
the lower down.
know, altogether the money that he was counting out about the horses was maybe 679, maybe 1,500 gold. So he's definitely marked up the horses, and when you guys were talking about payment, he wasn't really concerned about that. He's not very happy because he knows that you fucking like like kind of used your Actually, you know what? Everyone, give me a perception check.
Perception.
So again, this also goes to with talking to people that are of higher level. If we talk to the paladin would say there's no way it was worth that, or could say, and be like, he's just trying to scam you.
So, poet, you like read this person like a book. You know that he doesn't give a crap about the.
That would have been an insight, actually, but yes.
Doll girl can see
No,
into your soul.
I'm just saying she read his body language to the point where she knows that basically he is going to attempt to have you punished. He doesn't care about the money. Those horses were his, like, he loves his horses. It's not about money to him. You've killed his
Can
friends.
I, like, kind of split from the group and kind of walk over to him?
Yeah, if you want to catch up to him.
Yeah.
So you kind of like run up to him, and how do you want to get his attention?
Let me think. I'll kind of just walk behind him, or not behind Jesus, beside him,
And okay,
kind of wait for him to address me.
he looks down and he sees you, and he stops for a second, and he turns towards you and he's like, and he just kind of stares at you for a little while, and he goes, how can I help you? And he's like kind of jaw open, like he's never seen a walking doll before, and he just know how to react.
I'll just pretend I'm just gonna ignore that and say, hey, I know you don't know me, but I know what it's like to lose a member of your family, and I just wanted to say I'm really sorry.
And he, it matters to him that you said that, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, lass, it had nothing to do with you. You don't understand these adventurers and these nobles, and they always throw their weight around, and then they take advantage of the little folk like us, and I'm tired of it, and they need to answer for what they've done. You weren't with them when they went on their quest. This beef is not with you. It's with them, and they're gonna answer for it." And he kind of like pats you on the head and like kind of ruffles your head like he would like a child, and he's like, but you're a good lass. I appreciate your words. And he kind of like smiles at you and starts to walk away.
Well, I'm gonna say I've just recently begun traveling with these people, and I know that, with adventure and power, they become corrupt, but I think we need to work together, like, we're only ever gonna get people to treat working folk as they should be, if we kind of stay on their good side, like if we play into it a little bit, no matter how much, it doesn't matter how they're punished, it's not gonna, mend your losses. I'm not saying that you should forgive them, but, just think about how you want to go about this, I guess.
Okay, so give me a persuasion check with advantage. He listens to what you're saying. He doesn't. He like kind of he slows down and he listens to you as you talk, but he doesn't really stop. But give me okay a 19. You can tell that your words matter to him. He doesn't stop though. He continues to walk away, but you can kind of see him thinking as he walks.
All right, I'll leave him alone after that and go back to the others.
Okay. So, what do you guys do?
Well, I can cast Charm Person on him to give us an hour of time,
No,
just in
Do
case.
it.
Do what you
no.
do
Do
what
it.
you want to do.
No, don't do it.
So,
I've done this in other
I mean, if
campaigns.
that's what your character would do, then yeah.
You
But
do understand. I don't care what you do. You can absolutely
Well-
do that. But he will know that you cast Charm Person on him.
Yeah, I know. I
I
was
don't
thinking about it.
think we should. I've done that in
Well-
other campaigns,
well,
and it
maybe-
did well.
I don't know that. My
I think-
character doesn't know that.
my character would say, honestly, just let him be. We made an agreement to try to compensate. Whether he decides to hear from that or not is his choice.
That's fair. Well,
It's
if the
always-
If
constable
he
comes
sends
for
bounty
us-
hunters after me,
I'm
then
casting
I
him
will
as the
see
constable.
fit that he is not doing a good thing either.
It's always best to be genuine. And if you suggest casting a spell on him, poet will say that.
I thought it was best to lie, cheat, and steal.
No, that's only with assholes.
All right. So
I figure
So here's the situation.
maybe we should talk to the kind of like the mayor.
Okay. So Thule, from being in this town, you know that if you want to speak to the mayor, you're gonna need to go to Bestow Keep. You know that there is an inn named the Sapphire's Hope. There is the Broken Tankard, in which you guys initially met Tane, and where Tane said that he would meet with you when you returned. Also, are you guys going to start walking into the town?
yes, I tell them all of this as such.
Yeah,
As,
we'd head into town.
as you start walking into town, you can tell that there's lots of activity. There's people wandering around the square. And so if you wanted to talk to anyone and kind of ask if Tane's about or anything like that, you could.
I think our best bet is to talk to people that we recognize. So maybe the guy at the tavern, or what was her name? The lady we talked to about finding about the kid who was kind of disability and was like a ranger.
Okay. If you guys don't remember her name, neither do I. So I'm going to give her another name because since then I've built myself a bunch of characters that I could remember.
Yeah, I don't remember her name right now.
Okay. So if I remember correctly, she was kind of like in this area here. There was like a tannery type
Yep.
area.
Yep. Yeah, it was a tannery. Yep.
And her name is. Give me 1 second, and I will tell you her name. Her name is Carly Rybar, and you walk up to her, and she's scraping some hides and stuff, and you kind of see her sitting on a stool scraping a hide.
Sorry, I just wanted to see what that was.
Oh, okay. And as you walk up, she looks up and she kind of squints at you, but she doesn't recognize you.
I'll approach. Say, Miss, we were here a few days ago inquiring about your I guess your son that was going out into the forest
Oh,
and seeing things.
Absolutely. I remember you talking about my son, Frederick. And he told you that
Yes, Frederick.
he
Yeah,
saw some
That was his name.
some goblins out in the forest, if I remember correctly.
Well, there wasn't really goblins. There was other things. So kind of what he's seen, like even if he did exaggerate, they definitely seen some things.
Oh, well,
Um,
he'll be happy to hear
we
that.
we had we kind of worked on the problem, fixed it, and we were wondering if what do you think would be the best way to have an audience with your mayor, the guy that runs the town, or
Oh,
lady that runs the town?
oh, you're speaking of Osia Sungald. Yes. Well,
What's
the
this thing called?
the best way to get an audience with the I know I changed voices just now, but I figure this one's better. The best way to get an audience with the mayor is to speak to the guards at the gate. They are the only ones that can let you inside.
Okay, well, that's very helpful, and I appreciate it.
Actually, did you happen to find out what was happening to the other villages?
Sadly, we did. It's not something we feel that everybody should really know because it was
Oh, it's
it,
bad news. I had some
yes,
friends and so
it was pretty bad news, sadly. We hope to find survivors,
oh
but that might take some time as they may have spread to other towns or other places that they found safe.
oh goodness. I had some friends in the neighboring towns. They oh oh my goodness. And
Mm,
her face drops and she seems pretty sad and she's like, "Oh,
I'm just gonna do a quick history to see if maybe we noticed names or anything on anything that we've seen,
okay."
if she may recognize any. And that's a bad history, so
I'm proficient with history. Can I help him?
Unfortunately, you wouldn't really know
yeah,
uh
you weren't in there with us.
yeah, so you wouldn't be able to know
Where am I?
where
You're in the town with us now, but you were not inside of the church with us, so
yeah, they met. There was some dead bodies inside the church that they discovered.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
what he's talking about.
Oh
So I
yeah,
guess
I
I
don't
would
know what the
tell
plot
her
hook of this whole campaign is yet.
Uh, I will explain that to you. You'll get some insight when you speak to Tane. Um,
Okay.
she says, well, you must that is terrible news. You must excuse me. I have to tell some people that their friends have are not, they're gone. And she just kind of like stands up and like kind of just drops her tools in a bucket and she says, well, thank you, and just kind of walks away.
yeah. So just before she walks away, I'll put my hand on her shoulder and be like, I'm sorry for dire news, and I really hope that what we've done makes a difference, and we are looking into trying to stop whatever is going on.
And she turns to you and she says, well, I hope you do. We have lost many friends, apparently, and she's just, she's kind of like stone faced, and you could tell that she thought hopefully there was hope that that these people weren't dead, but you've kind of destroyed that hope, and she's gonna go. The word will probably be spread through town.
Mhm.
Poor thing.
And she
Okay.
says, thank you. Your words were kind. And she walks away. So what do you
Well,
guys
what
do?
do you guys think? Find the mayor?
You're right next to the Broken Tankard. The inn's right next to you. Or the tavern. The inn is right here. And the keep is down to the south.
I want to see the mayor for reasons.
Okay?
Yep. I think our first thing is to find the mayor.
Okay. So real quick, just let me make some quick notes.
And someone to send messages to.
Carly Rybar is
The mayor's a slacker, right? That's what we learned last time.
yes.
Um,
Can we also like go to a
yeah,
shop
good.
sometime soon?
Absolutely.
do you mind?
That's
Do you mind if I do it? Sorry, go ahead.
the shopping is on the agenda.